So I have these two boxes. My husband gave them to me. He uses these types of boxes in his shop. It's what he uses to build countertops. These are really old boxes that he has built new ones to replace. But I didn't want him to throw them away. I needed two pedestal type boxes to put in my greenhouse to put my two very large spider plants on. Right now they are on the counter. They're taking up a lot of space, and the babies are so long that they're going down to the ground in the greenhouse. And so I took them, I'm going to paint them, and I'm going to use them in there to put those plants on. The first thing I have to do, however, is clean them up. I'm going to paint them. And they are covered in glue. And so I'm just going to do this with a wire brush and scrape them down. I'm not going to sand them or anything. I'm going to just scrape the glue down a little bit and get some of the dust off. And I'm going to paint them. I'm going to paint them black, let them dry, and put them in my greenhouse. We'll see how that works out. He also gave me this small DeWalt air compressor. I have a really small one that's not even on wheels, but it's just not sufficient. This one was a spare one in his shop, so I get to keep it over here in my area, which is the carport, or I can roll it over to the greenhouse or my tool barn and use it wherever. It rolls really good, but I have to do all the hookups. He didn't have any hookups for this to spare, so I will use mine off of my other one, but I've got to put it together. So I had to put the blowgun and a new connector on the hose, and it's ready to go on the air compressor. So I've got a bunch of different connectors. It turns out this one is the one that's needed to go on here. I've got some thread tape on there, and then this piece right here will just snap into the air compressor. Alright, that's locked in. Now I need to plug it up. Okay, now I just need to find the on-off switch. Oh, there it is. Well, as it turns out, I found some green paint that will match my greenhouse. It's the same paint that I used on the outside, so I'm going to use that instead of the black. What do you think? That's one of them. It won't be too long before the rest of those things will be going to the ground. I think it'll do for now. Okay, y'all, I have shown this impatient plant several times in previous videos, but I want you to see how big it has gotten. Like, it is so big that the stems are leaning over. They're getting so heavy that they won't stand up straight anymore. Because if anybody knows this plant, these stems are very, very fragile. They don't have a lot of strength in them. And they're getting so big they just won't stand up. They're laying down. And I'm not kidding you when I say this thing is a monster. It is too big for the inside of this greenhouse, but if you can see my doors over there, it's not going to go through the doors to take it outside again. And Lord help me, if it grows any bigger, I won't be able to get it back in. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to cut this thing back. I know it'll probably make it healthier, but that's going to be painful for me to have to cut. They grow so easily on their own in soil, you don't really have to root them. So I can make several pots out of what's here that has to be cut. Look at this. Is that not just a gorgeous little bloom? I love those first blooms. Let me go around to this side. This thing is so big. It is more than 4 feet across. I seriously doubt that it is conveyed very well on video, but it is more than 4 feet across. But all these things are just laying down. It's just so top heavy. I think I have no choice but to cut it back. Look at these tiny little baby oranges. It's a baby orange. There's 3 right there. There's 1. Look at this cluster of oranges. See if I can get it focused. These are all baby oranges. All of this stem. And there's some more back in there. Turns out to be a painting day. Well, that project's done, and just in time, because I'm out of paint. I know that was only 2 projects today, painting the box for the greenhouse and then painting this little stand. But between the little things that I had to do back and forth in the house, those things took me pretty much the better part of the day, because I had to scrape that box and then several coats of paint and wait in between while the coats dried. I think they turned out good. I like how it looks. And then another day, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I will paint that second box and get that in the greenhouse. 2 projects down and more on tap. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you'd like to be notified when more content is uploaded, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, and don't forget that notification bell. And I will see y'all on the next video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.